As I was about to post this video, I got the news. Amateur phenom Aidan Zingg has passed away at Mammoth. This sport is so dangerous. This is the part we all hate. Like, we all know it's a risk. We don't think about it. We don't think about it till it happens. I can't imagine what his family and friends and everybody are dealing with right now. To go to a race happy, talking about results, arguing about tire choice, different things that racers try to focus on, and to leave there minus your son. I can't imagine. I'm sending my best to the Zingg family, and man, this is tough. The early word that I have is something happened and it tore a heart valve. Don't quote me on this. This is early news, but I'm pretty sure makes sense as to what happened. Hit his chest, tore an aorta or something. We'll know more as this goes on, but man, it's scary. With all these internal injuries, it's terrifying how quick this sport can go from fun to tragic. But I don't know. We'll talk about this more later this week, but I just want to send my best to the Zingg family, to all their friends in Mammoth. And it doesn't seem to matter much about racing when you hear something like this, when you lose a 16-year-old prodigy, just a 16-year-old in general. I cannot imagine the pain they're dealing with right now. So I'm sending my best, guys. What is up, guys? How we doing? So Southwick is in the books, and I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed with Eli Tomac. And Jet, what is going on? He is so dang good. He truly is probably the best talent that I've ever seen ride a dirt bike. Now the rumor was Eli was sick, but Jet was too. And how about Jorge Prado? Would the real Jorge Prado please stand up? This track got rough, nasty, and the 450 guys were probably pretty happy they ran first because they got it out when it was a little bit cooler and not quite as rough. All these guys that race Southwick are going to be sore and stiff. I strongly recommend you get your hands on some Nano-Xtreme, best pain solution that I've ever used. Head over to Nano-Xtreme, use code COOKSY and get free shipping. And when it's hot and nasty like this, you gotta stay hydrated. Coach Rob has Energy Fuel. It is a formulated drink specifically to keep you hydrated on nasty days like today. If you need to get that, head over to Complete Racing Solutions and then get your packet of Energy Fuel over there. The new Alias gear has arrived for the summertime, and I was announcing it wrong. I was saying it was 2026. It's 2025 and a half. This looks to be their lightweight stuff for the summer, so check it out. Order it fast. It's not going to last long, so head over to Alias MX and get your new gear.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
It's kind of strange that coming off of an off week, so many guys looked fatigued and tired and sick heading into the round. But it just goes to show you what the first 4 rounds took out of these guys. And people ask, why do these athletes get sick so often? Because they're out there taxing their body to levels that is just unheard of. Then they go back, they are around so many people, they're traveling the country, they're in airplanes, they're at autograph signings. It's tough. When their immune systems are at their lowest, people are high-fiving them, hugging them. Germ-filled fans have been drinking all day and probably have a cold, but just want to get their handshake with their star. Yeah, it happens. But Jet had mentioned that he was suffering from some sort of a cold. You'd never know it. My gosh, the guy is an absolute alien. Ripped, just completely ripped 2 hole shots. And just absolutely made it look boring out there. He was gone. He didn't even do the 2-second. He was not even trying, and he pulled out like 10 seconds. He was cruising. He didn't even look winded after that first moto. And of every rider to move up to that 450 class, he is by far the best ever to start a career. He's only lost 1 race. That one where he had that big crash at Hangtown, that's the only overall that he hasn't won in this class. That is crazy. James Stewart had a perfect season, and he just tied James for how many wins they have in a career. And we're talking about 2 seasons and a quarter of a season? Are you kidding me? And as big of a douche as I think Hunter is, I can't help but feel a little bit bad for him. He is the second best guy maybe in the world. He's out there riding the wheels off that Honda, and he's getting second places. He has yet to get an overall win in the 450 class, which is crazy. He might be the second best guy in the world, but he's also the second best guy at his own dinner table. And as nice as it is to be part of the best brother combination to ever race in this sport, and that's where I'm putting them, I think they are the best two brothers to race together in this professional sport. And we've had a lot of really good brother combinations. We got James and Malcolm, the Hill brothers. I mean, there's been so many combinations. The Son brothers, Chuck's son and his brother Ron's son. There's been so many brother combinations because you grow up in this sport racing with your brother. Usually the younger brothers are better because they can follow the roadmap, and that's what we're seeing here is Jet has followed the roadmap that Hunter has laid out, and now he is leading the way, and he's doing things in this sport that have never been done before. Nobody has ever started a 450 career winning 20 out of 21 races. That's insane. So as happy as Hunter is getting second place, it still has to sting just a little bit when they go to dinner and he's not the fastest guy at that table. So when Jet had his perfect season the first year, everybody's like, well, Tomac's out. Sexton was hurt the first few rounds. Everybody was gone. It was kind of a gimme. Now we're seeing what Jet really is. He's just that good. And while this wasn't the typical beast mode Eli that we've seen at Southwick in the past, the Lawrence brothers are handing it to the best version of Eli that I've ever seen. Not today, of course. And Tomac is such a badass, he'll never say it on the podium, but he sounded a little congested yesterday when I heard some of the press day interviews, and he looked flat today. That is not something you typically see from Eli Tomac. He was clearly suffering from something, whether it be a chest cold, I don't know if he was sick during the off weeks, but he did not look like the normal Eli Tomac, and that's frustrating. This is the track that I really thought he could get it done. And for him to get sick before this round, that hurts a lot. I mean, in that first moto, he was the fourth fastest guy. He didn't even have good times. I mean, he didn't really have his flow all day long. I mean, he battled, got third place in the moto, but he clearly was looking labored. He did not look like the Eli Tomac that we expected to see here. I don't know if he wins this year. I really don't. And that brings me to, well, he signed for 2 more years with KTM. Really? He's always said, and I'll take him at his word, he will race as long as he feels like he can win. Seeing the way that Jet and Hunter and now with Deegan going to be entering the class soon, I don't know that those days aren't over. Jet, we might be looking at the end of Eli Tomac. You know, it's going to be tough on that KTM, man. I don't see him doing well on the KTM. It's not a bike that feeds a lot of comfort to the riders. A lot of guys have complained about it. Obviously, it's winnable because Chase won on it. AP looks really good on it, but I don't think it's going to suit Tomac. I really wish he would have jumped on that Ducati deal. Then he could go out there for 2 years and just ride around in 5th place and get that swan song, and we wouldn't have any expectations because he's on a Ducati. He's on a new bike. I think he's going to be regretting signing with KTM. It is going to be a long, frustrating 24 months with KTM if he sticks it out for both years. And one thing about Tomac is, you know, when he says he signs a contract for 24 months, he'll probably stay the full 24 months. But if that first year goes really bad, I look for KTM and him to possibly do a mutual buyout. Who knows? That is a long ways away, and I'm jumping to a lot of conclusions here with Eli Tomac, but I just expected so much more out of him at Southwick, and I think this is alarming that he was so far off pace. Even if he was sick, we didn't see flashes of anything that we normally see from Eli Tomac. If you told me coming into this race that Hunter Lawrence would ride away from Eli Tomac and be considerably better than Eli all day long, I'd have called you crazy. I would have said, like, no way, no way. I'd have been like, he can get Eli if he makes a mistake, has a bad start, but no way straight up having Eli start right behind him and just ride away from him like he did. That is alarming to me. I know it has to do with him being sick, but a lot of guys were sick. Jet was sick, didn't seem to affect him at all. I really hope Eli just had a really bad day and he comes back. Next week, you got Chase Sexton entering the mix, and we got just another person who could be up there. Jet has a tendency when other guys are out there, he does make mistakes, and Chase is the only guy who's really been able to push him into those mistakes. Obviously, Chase makes way more, but he will go full send. So what does that do to the series? I don't know. I honestly, if I'm a betting man and you gave me odds on Tomac winning a round this year or not winning a round, I think the favorite on that bet would have to be Eli will not win one round. I really hope I'm wrong on that one, but seeing what I saw today, it just seems like Jet Lawrence is just on a different level, and nobody's going to win. Jet will have to make a mistake to lose. Check out Ride Strapped, goggles, glasses, shirts, just a really cool company that I am so happy to just be associated with. Check out Ride Strapped, get your Red Pill shirts, and support those guys. If you're shipping anything, use Precision Transport. That's pretransport.com, a family-owned shipping company that really believes in customer service, proper tracking numbers, and reasonable pricing. So pretransport.com. Jorge Prado finally looked like the guy that we saw win world championships. I'll tell you what, there's some executives at Kawasaki that have paid him a lot of money that were very, very relieved to see that performance today. And while it wasn't a win, it was signs of life. We saw the Jorge Prado who won the championships. Like James said, George had been riding the first few rounds. We finally saw Jorge. The bike looked good. He looked good. We saw confidence, and this he can build off of. This is something, he had crashes in both motos, but he still rode and did the things that Kawasaki expected. They didn't need for him to come out and win the championship this year, but they wanted a guy to be in the mix and do exactly what he did here at Southwick. Next week, they go to a track that he has ridden and is familiar with. He's been to Redbud. He understands that track, so he might be able to carry this momentum into Redbud, and maybe he can get that podium because he's real close. Aaron Plessinger has been fast all year and been threatening to win a moto. He just didn't have it here in Southwick. Maybe he was under the weather. Maybe the Lawrences were just too fast. I don't know what it was, but he didn't look like the Aaron Plessinger we saw in the first 4 rounds. But the good thing about Aaron Plessinger is he doesn't think too much about it. He's going to come back out in Redbud and just give you everything again. And he might lead a moto or win a moto in Redbud. Just because he had one bad week doesn't mean anything to Aaron Plessinger. He's a guy that really focuses on race by race. So I look for him to be right back in the mix at Redbud, and with a whole shot, he still wants that elusive moto win. He's not too worried about championship or anything like that, but this dude wants a win so bad, and he wants it this year. I don't know that he's going to land an overall win, but I would like to see him get that elusive moto win. Justin Cooper. What happened, dude? He was so fast. Of course, he laid down the fastest qualifying time, which I expected him to be really good at Southwick. I had picked him to get 3rd overall, but you can't be 19th in the first lap and expect to get on the podium with this stacked field. You just can't do it. You cannot do it. Unless your name's Jet Lawrence, and then you probably could. It was one heck of a charge, but 6th place for a guy who's really wanting to be on that podium and battle for wins. That's disappointing after qualifying fastest at a track he felt comfortable with, but he'll be there. He's established himself as a top 5 guy week in and week out, but you can't give those guys starts like that. He did it in both motos. I don't know what happened. Same thing for RJ Hampshire. He's riding really good on that 450, and I'm so happy to see him riding that 450 and finally getting a shot on the bigger bike. He spent his entire career in the 250 class. He might have missed the ideal time to move up. He's a little older now, but he's taking full advantage of it, and he is going for it. But you cannot start 31st on the first lap and expect to be in the mix with those front guys. They're gone. That's how good they are right now. But look for RJ Hampshire. One of these times, he's going to get a start, and we know he goes for it. I fully expect him to land on an overall podium before this season's over, but he's got to get starts in order to do that. Bam Bam Barcia was back, and after all the talk about riding a stock bike during the week, I don't know what bike he rode, but he looked pretty good. But he looked like a guy coming off an injury, didn't have the fitness that he needed to be. In that first moto, he's battling with Harry Koulas and Cornelius Turndon, a couple European guys that he really expects to be better than. And those guys are great riders, but Justin Barcia expects to be up a little bit higher. Those guys should be battling around where they were, but Barcia wants to be considerably in front of them. In the second moto, he'll get better as the season rolls on. And the rumor is he is going to be the guy at Ducati, but man, he's going to have to show a little bit more. If I'm Ducati, I'm like, man, do I really want to pay for Barcia if he can't even get top 5s? We need a guy that's going to be a little bit better. I know he has name recognition, but he's got to show a little bit more. And I think Justin Barcia will. He's a fighter, and he wants to keep this career going. And I look for him to put in some better results and wind up on Ducati next year. And with all these guys under the weather, man, when they did that interview with Jason Anderson before that second moto, I was like, how is he going to ride? He looked like death warmed over. I commend him for heading up the line and thinking about going for it, but smart move to pull out, rest up, maybe get better, maybe even sit out Redbud and come back after that. He's not a real strong outdoor guy. I think he's put in enough of an effort to show Kawasaki that he's not completely mailing it in, and they should keep paying him. He is also a guy that's been kind of rumored to be on that Ducati wish list. I don't know. I would rather, I really hope that Anderson is able to work something out with Team Tedder. They're going to be riding Yamahas. He would have the freedom to do what he wants. Him and Justin Hill on Team Tedder, that would be a heck of a fun team. And they'd get some good results. And you're going to get some funny moments with those two guys. They're a couple characters. And I hope Anderson ends up on that Team Tedder. All right, guys, I got to get going because I'm headed over to UFC to watch Eli Tomac take on Charles Oliveira for the lightweight championship. There's a flyweight bout and a bunch of other fights. Anyway, my buddy AJ, you guys know AJ, he's giving away the Teslas over on his channel. AJ Writes Crypto. Head over to his channel, enter to win a Tesla. He already gave away one. He's giving away 3 more, and the last one will be a Cybertruck. He's partnered with VeChain, and VeChain does some really cool stuff with crypto. They have an app where if you work out, it like builds free crypto. They're always looking for unique stuff. I appreciate them because they give me UFC tickets. So check out VeChain and AJ Writes Crypto. And in a couple days, one of you members is going to win the Energy Fuel Pack from Coach Rob. And you're all entered to win the new Power Sports XQi3 motorcycle that I took out yesterday and had a blast on. I'm telling you, it's so much fun riding these bikes. But anyway, thanks, guys. I'm going to UFC. Here's your member of the day.
Let's start this off by saying, we got them. The illegal sale of American motorcycle racing. I present a case that reveals how the American Motorcyclist Association's 2008 sale of its racing properties constituted an illegal transfer of public trust into private hands. My name's B Mazy, and I'm here to stir shit up. So I made a song for you guys. You know, it's crazy that the riders still gotta pay to race, even though these guys are just filling their pockets because they're money-hungry, greedy, stupid mother, ex-circus owners, but still got the same mindset for the Supercross. Screw Feld, screw the AMA, and screw Rob Dingman.